The scream of the engines drowned out the whispers, but Nathaniel felt them like knives slicing through the recycled air. He was 23, fresh from a life that had chewed him up in the Bible Belt suburbs of Atlanta and spat him out onto this cross-country flight to Los Angeles, clutching a crumpled ticket that might as well have been a scarlet letter. When the flight attendant's eyes flicked over his rainbow pin on his backpack, subtle, defiant, a tiny flag in enemy territory stiffened, her smile turning to ice. And with a murmur about seating adjustments for balance, she'd marched him to the back, past the curious stares and the one guy in 14B who smirked like he'd won a bet. Nathaniel slumped into 32F, the armrest digging into his side like an accusation, the seatbelt sign blinking overhead like a judgmental eye. He'd boarded with dreams buzzing in his veins, auditions for that indie film role, the one where the queer kid finally gets to be the hero. Not the punchline, but now it all felt like a cruel joke. The plane lurched forward, taxiing toward the runway, and as the thrust pinned him back, he closed his eyes against the flood of memories, his father's voice thundering, "You're not my son anymore," the day he came out at 17. The empty dinner table that echoed for months. The first boy he'd kissed under the magnolias who vanished like smoke when the town found out. Why did courage always come with a one-way ticket to isolation? By the time the beverage cart rattled past, Nathaniel had sketched a half-hearted doodle of wings on his napkin, the kind that never quite lifted off the page. The woman in 31E, a middle-aged realtor from Dallas with a cross necklace glinting like a warning, leaned over without preamble. "You know, the Bible says it's an abomination," she hissed, her voice carrying just enough to turn heads in the rows ahead. A few nods rippled forward the burly trucker in 29A, the family of four pretending not to hear but clutching their rosaries tighter. Nathaniel's throat tightened, the old shame bubbling up like bile. But he met her eyes, his voice steady as Georgia clay. "And it says love your neighbor too. Guess we're both picking verses tonight." The cabin hummed with unease, the air thick as the storm clouds gathering outside the fuselage. Up front, in the premium seats where the elites sipped their Chardonnay, a silver-haired executive typed furiously on his laptop, oblivious or indifferent. But in the middle, row 18, a young man with sun-kissed skin and a fade haircut, mid-20s, athletic build, wearing a faded Lakers jersey, twisted in his seat, catching Nathaniel's gaze for a split second that stretched like taffy. There was no pity there, just a spark, a quiet solidarity that made Nathaniel's pulse stutter. He looked away first, cheeks burning, wondering if it was the altitude or the altitude of hope playing tricks. As the plane climbed into the twilight, piercing the veil between worlds, Nathaniel pulled out his phone, the signal bars mocking him with their futility. He scrolled through old texts from his sister, the only family who'd stuck, "You're braver than they know. Nate. Fly high." And a voicemail from his agent, "Kid, this role could change everything. Don't let the noise drown you." But the noise was everywhere now. The realtor muttered prayers under her breath. The trucker chuckled to his buddy about those Hollywood types ruining America. And a teenage girl too rose up, snapped selfies, her feed probably destined for viral judgment. Nathaniel pressed his forehead to the cool plastic window, watching the lights of Atlanta shrink to pinpricks, each one a life he'd left fractured. Hours blurred into the monotonous drone, the cabin lights dimming for the red-eye leg. Sleep evaded him, chased off by the what-ifs. What if the audition flopped? What if LA chewed him harder than Georgia? What if he was just another gay kid chasing rainbows that dissolved in the sun? He shifted, his knee brushing the empty aisle seat. And that's when the shadow fell. Soft footsteps, a hesitant cough. The guy from row 18 stood there, holding two styrofoam cups, steam curling like secrets. "Hey," he said, voice low and warm, like bourbon on a winter night. "Couldn't sleep either. Figured you might want some company. I'm Alex." Nathaniel blinked up at him, the offer hanging fragile in the recycled air. Alex was 25, a graphic designer from San Diego heading home after a conference. His easy smile crinkling the corners of deep brown eyes that held stories of their own scars from a conservative Catholic upbringing. A brother who disowned him for the same sin Nathaniel carried. "The back here's quieter," Alex added, sliding into 32E without waiting for permission, handing over the coffee black, just how Nathaniel liked it, though he'd never said. They talked in whispers as the plane sliced through darkness about first heartbreaks, the sting of rejection letters from families, the thrill of pride parades where strangers became saviors. Alex's laugh was a lifeline, pulling Nathaniel from the abyss. And when their fingers brushed over the shared armrest, neither pulled away, but the piece shattered like glass at 30,000 feet. Turbulence hit without warning, the plane bucking like a wild horse, oxygen masks dangling like nooses. Screams erupted from the front, the realtor clutching her seat, crossing herself frantically, the trucker bellowing for the pilot to get this damn thing down. Lights flickered. The intercom crackled with the captain's clipped calm. "Folks, we've got some rough air. Stay seated." Panic rippled through the cabin. A mother sobbing over her toddler. An elderly couple clasping hands in silent plea. Nathaniel's heart hammered, but Alex gripped his arm, grounding him. "Breathe with me," Alex murmured, their eyes locking in the chaos. A promise forged in fear. Then it happened. The realtor, wild-eyed, twisted in her seat and jabbed a finger back at Nathaniel. "This is God's wrath. It's because of him, the sinner in the back. I saw that pin. He's why we're going down." Her words ignited the fuse. The trucker lumbered to his feet, face purple with rage, lumbering down the aisle despite the seatbelt sign. "You freaks think you can curse us all? Get off my plane." Hurl after hurl flew, abomination. "Go back to hell where you belong." And the cabin devolved into a mob, seats creaking as bodies strained against restraints, the air electric with hate. Nathaniel froze, the old terror coiling in his gut. But Alex surged up, planting himself between them like a shield. "Back off. He's not hurting anyone, you are." The flight attendant hovered, torn between protocol and pandemonium. Her earlier complicity now a ghost haunting her face. Punches weren't thrown, the belts held most, but words were weapons, slicing deeper than steel. Nathaniel's voice cracked through the din. "If I'm the curse, then why am I still here, fighting for my seat? Maybe it's not Meme, it's the fear in you that's shaking this plane apart." The storm outside mirrored the one within, lightning forking across the wings like divine judgment. As the turbulence eased, grudging silence fell, broken only by sniffles and the hum of engines. Alex sank back, adrenaline fading to exhaustion, his hand finding Nathaniel's again, interlacing fingers in defiant tenderness. "You're incredible," he whispered, and for the first time that flight, Nathaniel believed it not as a flattery, but as truth etched in shared survival. Dawn crept in slow, painting the horizon pink as the descent began. Los Angeles sprawling below like a promise unspooling. The cabin stirred, announcements droning about baggage claim. But tension lingered, thick as fog. Nathaniel braced for the disembarkation shuffle, the slurs trailing him like smoke. Alex squeezed his hand one last time. "Whatever happens, you got this. And hey, coffee in LA. My treat." The wheels kissed tarmac with a jolt that echoed through bones. The reverse thrust slowing them to a halt at the gate. Doors hissed open, cool California air rushing in like forgiveness. Passengers unbuckled, gathering bags, but no one moved forward. Instead, a murmur swelled from the front, the executive standing first, clapping slowly, deliberately. Then the family of four, the teenage girl wiping tears. Even the trucker, his face ashen. Joining in, the realtor remained seated, head bowed, but the applause built, row by row, until the entire cabin rose in a thunderous ovation, hands pounding together for Nathaniel, the boy they'd banished to the shadows. Tears stung his eyes as he stood, Alex pulling him into a quick, fierce hug amid the roar. This wasn't just claps. It was reckoning, a collective exhale of the hate they'd inhaled. The pilot emerged, nodding at Nathaniel with quiet respect. Son, that took guts. Welcome home. As they filed out into the terminal's bustle, strangers pressed forward not with fists, but hands extended. Thank you, the mother whispered, her child clutching a toy plane, for reminding us what flying together really means. Nathaniel's chest ached with the weight of it, the hook of his life finally catching light. In that moment, the last row felt like the front line of grace, and the standing ovation. It was the world's way of saying, we see you now. But grace, Nathaniel learned, was just the beginning. LA welcomed him with its glittering sprawl, palm trees swaying like old friends, the audition waiting like a heartbeat in the distance. He and Alex exchanged numbers in the arrival's haze, a tentative bridge over the miles that had separated them. San Diego to Hollywood, fear to possibility. That night, crashing in a cheap motel off Sunset, Nathaniel replayed the flight in his mind, the claps echoing louder than the jeers. He texted Alex, "Today's the day I stop running." The reply came swift, "Then let's walk into it together." The film roll. It was his. A queer lead navigating love and loss in the American heartland, mirroring his own jagged path. But fame's glow came with shadows, tabloids sniffing for scandal, old wounds reopening under spotlights. And Alex, he became the steady orbit. Weekend drives up the coast, stolen kisses in dive bars where the jukebox played Springsteen like an anthem. Their first real date was at Griffith Observatory, stars wheeling overhead as Alex confessed his own ghosts, the ex who'd outed him to his parish, the job he'd lost for refusing conversion therapy pamphlets. "I thought I'd never trust again," Alex said, his voice rough with vulnerability. "Then you happened back there, holding on when the world buckled." Nathaniel leaned in, their breaths mingling under the cosmos. "We're both survivors. Makes us unbreakable." The kiss that followed was fire and forgiveness, tongues tracing the maps of hurts they'd hidden, bodies pressing close against the chill night air. It wasn't perfect. Arguments flared over distance, insecurities whispered doubts, but it was real. A romance forged in turbulence, blooming in the quiet after. Yet drama stalked them like a persistent ex. 6 months in, Nathaniel's rising star drew vultures, a producer with wandering hands, implying favors for the next big break. Protesters at his LA Pride speech, signs screaming, "Sinners burn." Alex, ever the protector, showed up unannounced one rally night, linking arms through the chaos, his presence a shield sharper than any slogan. But the real storm hit when Nathaniel's father called, first time in years, voice slurred with regret and whiskey. "Saw you on the news. Boy, that plain story made me think." It was an olive branch, brittle as bone, but Nathaniel grasped it. Flying home to Atlanta for a tense dinner where apologies hung unspoken, replaced by halting questions about "that boyfriend of yours." The meal ended in tears. Not reconciliation's sweet kind, but the raw, purging flood. On the porch swing afterward, his father gripped the chain, knuckles white. "I was wrong, Nate. Scared of losing you to a world I didn't understand. But you flew anyway." Nathaniel nodded, the boy in the last row now a man claiming his space. "I didn't fly alone, Dad. That's the point." Back in LA, the film's premiere loomed, a glittering beast with red carpets and ruthless flashes. Alex stood beside him. Tuck's crisp, hand warm in Nathaniel's. Whispers rippled through the crowd. That's the plain guy. Right. The one who turned hate around. Inside the theater, as the lights dimmed and Nathaniel's face filled the screen vulnerable, fierce the audience leaned in. Breaths held. His character confessed love to a shadowed lover. Words tumbling like prayers. I'm not hiding anymore. Love me as I am. Or let me go. Cut to the final scene. A courtroom standoff where truth topples tyranny. Echoing that fateful flight. Cheers erupted at credits. But Nathaniel's eyes sought Alex in the dark, their fingers entwining as the ovation swelled. Outside, paparazzi swarmed, but they walked through hand in hand, unbowed. To more standings. Alex toasted later, over champagne in their tiny apartment overlooking the hills. Life, though, wasn't scripted. A year later, turbulence returned, not skies, but health scares. Alex's diagnosis hit like lightning. Early-stage lymphoma. Treatable, but terrifying. The kind that forced choices between hope and heartbreak. Nathaniel canceled shoots. Sat vigil in sterile rooms where beeps marked time. Holding Alex's hand through chemo fog. If this is the crash, Alex joked weakly, at least I'm landing with you. Nathaniel's tears fell hot. No crashes. We're soaring. Remember? The treatments dragged. Months blurring into resolve. Nathaniel channeling fear into advocacy, speaking at fundraisers. His plain story now a beacon for queer cancer warriors. Strangers wrote, "Your courage gave me mine." And in the quiet nights, when Alex slept fitful, Nathaniel whispered stories of flights yet to take. Futures unpinned. Remission came like dawn after endless night. Scans clear. Alex's laugh returning full-throated. They celebrated on that same LAX runway overlook, watching jets thunder skyward. From last row to first class, Alex said, pulling Nathaniel close. The kiss deepened. Promises sealed against the roar. Years folded forward. The film won Indies. Nathaniel directed his own A Love Letter to Outcasts Finding Wings. Alex's designs graced billboards. Bold colors defying drab norms. They adopted a rescue dog, a scrappy mutt named Jet, and bought a house in the hills. Garden bursting with rainbows. Weddings came small. Sunset beach affair. Vows exchanged with ocean as witness, in turbulence and calm. I choose you. Nathaniel's father visited once. Awkward but earnest. Toasting at their anniversary with trembling hands. Proud of you, son. The words, long withheld, landed soft as applause. One evening, decades on, gray threading their hair, they boarded a flight to Paris, honeymoon belated. Dreams deferred no more. As the plane taxied, Nathaniel glanced back. The last row empty. A ghost of grace. Remember when? He murmured. Alex smiled. Eternal. How could I forget? That's when we stood together. And in that standing, they found not just survival, but the sky's vast mercy. The Eiffel Tower pierced the Parisian dusk like a lover's promise. But Nathaniel's mind wandered back across the Atlantic. To the boy he'd been. Strapped into isolation. Alex nudged him at the bistro table. Wine glasses clinking under string lights. Penny for your thoughts. Director. Nathaniel traced the rim. The ruby liquid swirling like old emotions. Just wondering if we'd have found each other without that flight. Like fate needed the drama to push us. Alex's eyes softened. The lines around them mapping years of laughter and loss. Fate's a showman. But we wrote the sequel. They toasted to sequels. To lives remade from wreckage. The city of lights winking approval. Back in their left bank hotel. Sheets tangled like plot twists. Nathaniel's hands roamed familiar terrain, Alex's chest rising steady. Scars faint reminders of battles won. I love you. He breathed. The words a ritual, grounding as gravity. Alex pulled him closer. And you last row and all. Morning brought croissants and crepe streets. But jet lag tugged at ghosts. Nathaniel's phone buzzed a call from his agent. Voice electric, Nate. That script you optioned. The studio wants you to helm it. Queer road trip. Redemption, arc your wheelhouse. Excitement sparked. But so did doubt. The old whisper, not good enough. Alex sensed it, squeezing his thigh under the cafe table. Say yes. You've earned the director's chair. The flight home was smooth. No tempests. Just the hum of contentment. Landing in LAX felt like returning to a heartbeat. Palm fronds waving welcome. But LA's pulse quickened with undercurrents protests brewing over trans rights. Echoes of the hate that birthed Nathaniel's story. He dove into prep, casting calls in sun-drenched lofts. Voices raw with audition nerves. One kid, barely 20, faltered on lines about coming out. Eyes haunted. It's like they see the pin, not the person. Nathaniel knelt. Script forgotten. Then show them both. That's the magic. Alex thrived too. His firm landing a queer-inclusive campaign for a tech giant. Billboards blooming with diverse faces. Evenings. They debriefed over takeout sushi sprawled on the rug. Jets snoring at their feet. Today's win. Alex prompted. Game they'd played since remission. Told that producer where to shove his diversity quota pitch. Nathaniel grinned. Alex's turn. Hired my first interna non-binary artist from the res. Kids fire. But cracks spiderweb subtly. Nathaniel's father called again. Voice friendlier. Asking about grandkids. The word landed awkward. Stirring unspoken adoptions they'd tabled amid careers. We're building our family our way. Dad. Nathaniel said gently. But the call lingered. A shadow on the sun. Alex noticed. Curling around him that night. Your old man's trying. Cut him slack. Nathaniel sighed into his neck. I know. Just tired of half measures. The script took shape, wings unbound. A drifter named Eli echo of young Nathaniel hitchhiking from small-town scorn to coastal freedom, picking up a motley crew of misfits. Love sparked with a mechanic named Rio. Tough exterior hiding tender dreams. Their romance a slow burn of stolen glances and midnight confessions. Nathaniel poured hard into it. Scenes ripped from his veins. Eli's first kiss under highway stars. The sting of a bar fight over slurs. The quiet power of chosen family. Casting Rio proved tricky additions yielding earnest types. But no spark. Then Javier walked in. 28. Puerto Rican firebrand with a jawline sharp as dialogue and eyes that smoldered. His red opposite the Eli lead crackled. Chemistry instant. Unforced. He's the one. Nathaniel told Alex post-tryout. Pulse racing not just professionally. Alex laughed. No jealousy. Just pride. Hire him. And invite him to dinner vet the vibe. Javier fits seamless. Table talks veering from method acting to merengue playlists. But as table reads heated, boundaries blurred Javier's hand lingering on Nathaniel's shoulder. Compliments laced double. Alex clocked it first. Over paella one night. He's into you. Nathaniel flushed. Professional admiration. Alex's brow arched. Admiration doesn't look at you like dessert. Tension simmered. Unspoken. Nathaniel threw into work. Location scouts along Pacific Coast Highway. Waves crashing like unresolved chords. One dust drive. Javier rode shotgun. Script in lap. This story. It's you. Isn't it? The flight. The standing. Nathaniel nodded. Throat tight. Pieces of. Javier turned. Gaze intense. You're a force. Nate. Rare. The air thickened. Charged. But Nathaniel swerved conversation to craft. Heart to Alex waiting home. The call came mid-rehearsal. Alex's checkup flagged anomalies. Shadows on scans doctors called precautionary. The word recurrence hovered. Unuttered, but leaden. Nathaniel raced to the clinic. Finding Alex in the waiting room. Face pale, but joking with the receptionist. False alarm. Nathaniel asked. Voice cracking. Alex pulled him down. Foreheads touching. Biopsy tomorrow. But hey, I am still here. Stealing your spotlight. Vigil stretched. Days of waiting that gnawed like acid. Nathaniel canceled shoots. Paced their living room. Jet whining at his heels. Memories flooded. That first flight's terror. Alex's grip through it. Not again. When results came, benign cyst. No cancer, the relief buckled them. Sobs mingling on the kitchen floor. I can't lose you. Nathaniel gasped. Alex held tighter. You won't. We're bulletproof. Rehearsals resumed fiercer. Javier's energy a bomb. But the brush with lost sharpened edges. One late night. Post-scene of Eli and Rio's breakup raw. Hearts flayed. Javier cornered Nathaniel in the empty soundstage. Talk to me. You're carrying ghosts. The dam broke. Nathaniel spilled the scare. Voice fracturing. Javier listened. Then stepped close. Too close. Hand cupping his jaw. Let me help carry. The kiss attempted was gentle. Testing. But Nathaniel recoiled. Guilt crashing. I can't. Alex. Javier backed off. Regret etching his face. Sorry. Saw the spark. Thought it was mutual. Awkwardness cloaked sets after. Professionalism a thin veil. Nathaniel confessed to Alex that night. Words tumbling over takeout. Nothing happened. But it could have. In my head. Alex listened. No storm. Just steady. Temptation's human. What matters is choice. You chose us. They made love slow. Reaffirming. Bodies mapping fidelity. Production ramped. Desert exteriors baking under relentless sun. Dust devils dancing like doubts. Javier professionalized. Channeling tension into Rio's fire. Earning raves. Offset. Nathaniel and Alex escaped to Big Sur. Cliffside cabin where fog rolled like forgotten fears. Hikes along rugged trails. Hand in hand. They dreamed aloud, fostering kids one day. A queer youth center funded by film proceeds. Our legacy. Alex said. Sea spray kissing their faces. Standing for the next last row kids. Rap party pulsed in a Venice warehouse. Bass thumping like heartbeats. Champagne flowing free. Javier toasted Nathaniel publicly. To the visionary who turns pain to power. Eyes met. Past mended. Later. Dancing with Alex under strobes. Nathaniel whispered. You're my plot twist. Alex grinned. And you're the hero. Post-production blurred months. Edits slicing stories to essence. Premiere loomed at Sundance. Snow-capped peaks promising fresh starts. They flew out. Jet boarded. Excitement electric. The screening room hushed as wings unbound unspooled Eli's journey mirroring theirs. Love triumphant over tempests. Q&A after. Tears flowed. A panelist asked, how'd the plane inspire this? Nathaniel glanced at Alex. It taught me standing isn't just applause, it's choosing to rise. Every time. Festival buzz built. Deals whispered. But home called strongest. Back in LA. Spring bloomed riotous. Mirroring renewal. They fostered their first teen named Luca. Trans kid fleeing foster hell. Eyes wide with wary hope. Safe here. Nathaniel promised. Echoing words once said to him. Nights filled with board games. Luca's laughter a symphony. Years layered gentle, films stacked. Alex's gallery shows sold out. Luca thriving in college. calling them dads, easy as breath. Nathaniel's father passed quiet. Final letter apologizing fully. You flew higher than I dreamed. Love always. Grief stung sweet. Closure's gift. On their silver anniversary, they returned to LAX. That overlook etched in memory. Plain sword. Silver arrows to elsewhere. From hate to here. Nathaniel mused. Arm around Alex. Grayer but golden. Worth every bump. Alex kissed his temple. And every standing ovation. In the end, their story wasn't grand gestures alone, but the quiet ascents the hands held through storms. The choices that built bridges from broken rows. They stood, not just once, but always, wings unfurling into forever. Summer heat baked the Hollywood hills, turning their garden into a haze of jasmine and regret. But Nathaniel pushed through script revisions for his next projected docuseries on queer elders. Voices long silenced, now demanding airtime. Alex lounged poolside, sketchpad in lap. Outlining murals for the youth center they were finally breaking ground on. Funded by Wings Windfall. Luca bounded in from his gap year abroad. Backpack slung. Tales of Berlin pride spilling like confetti. Dads, you gotta see the floats drag queens on unicycles. Laughter echoed. A bomb against the creeping what-ifs. What if time slipped faster than they could grasp? The center's opening gala shimmered under tinted lights. Donors mingling with activists. Javier among them now, a steady collaborator. His own rom-com greenlit. Romance rumors swirling with a co-star. He clinked glasses with Nathaniel. Proud of this place. It's the real standing ovation. Alex joined. Trio reminiscing flights and fights. Old sparks now embers of friendship. But as speeches wrapped, a donor cornered Nathaniel. Breath boozy, great cause. But toned down the politics scares off the checks. The slight rankled. But Nathaniel smiled steel. Politics is why we're here. Pass. Post-gala. Driving home with windows down. Alex's hand on his thigh. Nathaniel vented. They want our stories without the struggle. Alex squeezed. Then we tell it louder. At home. They unwound with wine and vinyl Nina Simone crooning soul deep. Dance led to bed. Slow and sure. Reaffirming the rhythm only they knew. Fall brought festivals. Wings snagging audience awards. Critics praising its raw humanity. But acclaim drew thorns. Online trolls dredging Nathaniel's past. Doctored plain vids twisting triumph to tragedy. Faking it for clout. Headlines sneered. Sleep evaded. Nathaniel scrolling hate at 3 a.m. Alex stirring to pull him close. Their noise. Not our truth. Morning therapy couple sessions they'd kept since the kiss fiasco unearthed roots. Nathaniel's fear of unworthiness. Alex's of abandonment. We're enough. The counselor affirmed. They left lighter. Committing to unplug weeks. Thanksgiving gathered them with Luca's boyfriend. A soft-spoken engineer named Theo. And a table groaning under turkey and tofurkey. Stories swapped. Theo's coming out in a Sikh family. Parallels to Nathaniel's. Laughter flowed. But his father's absence echoed. A chair empty. After pie. Nathaniel raised glass. To families chosen and the ones we mend. Eyes misted. Hugs lingered. Winter scripted chaos. Docuseries shoots in snowy Midwest. Elders sharing faded photos. Tales of Stonewall shadows and AIDS vigils. One woman, 82, gripped Nathaniel's hand. Boy, you remind me of my brother lost to silence. Tell our stories fierce. Tears pricked. He vowed it. Alex FaceTime nightly. Their center's first classes buzzing art therapy for trans youth. Coding camps for queer kids. Luca's volunteering. Alex beamed. Full circle. But mid-shoot. Crisis struck. A blizzard stranded the crew. Hotel power flickering like hope. Nathaniel paced. Calling Alex. Voice strained. Miss you. This cold. Reminds me of lonely Christmases. Alex's reply warmed. Pack snow for me. We'll build forts in the hills come home. The storm passed, but isolation lingered. A reminder of flights untaken together. Spring thawed with premieres. The docuseries echoes unsilenced debuting to standing ovations. Panels packed with tearful thanks. Awards followed. A glad nod that humbled. Backstage. Alex pinned Nathaniel's boutonniere. Fingers lingering. My star. The kiss was quick. Cameras flashing. But world saw headlines shifting to power couples enduring love. Yet under glamour, where crept Alex's knee twinged from old soccer scars. Nathaniel's back from set halls. Date nights stretched intentional, hikes in Runyon. Picnics where Jet chased frisbees. One twilight trail. Overlooking city lights. Alex not proposal. They'd vowed years back, but with a velvet box, matching rings. Engraved, stand together. Renewal, he said. Nathaniel slipped his on. Tears salt sweet. Always. Luca's wedding planning injected joy, small affair in their backyard. Theo in Sherwani resplendent. Nathaniel walked him down the aisle. Voice thick. You taught us love's expansions. Vows exchanged under chuppah blend. Cultures weaving. Dance floor alive till dawn. Summer circled back. Center thriving. Classes overflowing. Nathaniel mentored a young director. A butch lesbian with firebrand scripts. Don't soften edges, he advised. That's where power lives. Her nod echoed his own mentor's ghosts. Fall's harvest brought harvest of sorts, echoes Emmy buzz. Alex's mural unveiling a rainbow phoenix rising from cracked earth. Dedicated for last rose everywhere. Ceremony drew crowds. Speeches soaring. Javier emceed. Quipping. Nate and Alex, proof love lands planes. But life's plot twisted gentle. Luca announced adoption plans. Nathaniel and Alex uncles in waiting. Baby showers loomed. Tiny onesies stacking like promises. Our turn next. Alex mused one night. Head on Nathaniel's chest. When ready, Nathaniel replied. Heart full. Winter wrapped cozy. Holidays with extended kin, Theo's family embracing. Bridges built. New Year's Eve. Rooftop under stars. They clinked cider. Resolutions. Alex asked. Nathaniel grinned. More flights together. Fireworks burst. Mirroring inner light. Spring bloomed announcements, echoes winds. Green lights for sequels. But bigger, they fostered twins. Rambunctious 5-year-olds from group home. Names Mia and Jordan. Eyes curious as dawn. Chaos rained crayon walls. Midnight stories but joy amplified. Alex's sketches now including tiny hands. Luca's family grew too. Nephew's birth a whirlwind visit. Nathaniel held the bundle. Wonderstruck. Life's loop. Back home. Twins' laughter filled voids. Summer sizzled with family beach trips. Sandcastles crumbling like old fears. Nathaniel's next film family saga. Queer at core cast with center alums. Authenticity pulsing. Fall leaves turned. Twins starting school. Nathaniel volunteering as room dad. Alex coaching soccer. Evenings. Board books and bedtime tales. Stories of brave boys in back seats who became kings. Winter's chill brought reflection. 20th anniversary Paris Redux. Twins with Luca's crew. Eiffel lit aglow. Nathaniel whispered. From one flight to a fleet. Alex, ours. Forever. Life's narrative wove on twists of teen tantrums. Triumphs of graduations. Quiet nights where hands clasped said all. Through it. They stood, for each other. For the world. Wings eternal. The twins' first school play cast shadows of Nathaniel's own stage frights. Mia as a fierce lion cub. Jordan the shy three-year-olds swapped last minute when nerves hit. A lesson in fluidity they absorbed with giggles. Backstage, Nathaniel knelt. Adjusting capes. Own it. Like you own every room. Their bows drew cheers. Alex filming teary-eyed. Post-show pizza. Luca teased. Future directors. Nathaniel winked. Or just world changers. Docuseries Season 2 ramped. Delving into intersectional queer histories, Black, trans pioneers. Indigenous two-spirit crisscrossing heartland. Elders' wisdom heavy as heirlooms. One Navajo elder. Voice gravel rough. Shared, we were always here. Woven into land. Don't let them erase. Nathaniel nodded. Camera rolling. Heart etched. Alex joined a remote. His designs illustrating tales. Colors vibrant as voices. But mid-season. A glitch, funding hiccup from conservative board. Whispers of too controversial. Nathaniel rallied. Op-ed in Variety. Silence isn't neutrality, it's complicity. Backlash surged. But support swelled celebrity retweets. Donor influx. Alex's mural tour hit cities. Phoenix inspiring murals nationwide. Falls Crunch brought twins' birthdays. Rainbow cakes and piñatas bursting confetti truths. Family swelled, Theo's sister visiting. Cultures clashing joyful over curry and collards. Nathaniel's speech. Impromptu. Family's not blood, it's the stand you take. Winter scripted a sequel scare. Alex's routine skin flagged polyps. Routine removal. But wait not. Nathaniel paced green rooms during a panel. Mind adrift. Post-biopsy clear. They collapsed laughing in the car. Clean as a whistle. Alex quipped. Nathaniel, my favorite tune. Spring bloomed, Foster permanence papers signed. Mia and Jordan legally theirs. Court tears cathartic. Dad's forever. They chorused. Hugs bone deep. Luca's second kid arrived. Niece Lila. Playdates chaotic bliss. Summer's heat wave tested. Center expansion strained budgets. Nathaniel's film post hit snag studio notes softening queer arcs. He fought. Reshoots under stars. Javier directing cameos. Keep it raw. Javier urged. Premiere tentpole. Critics raved, a stand against erasure. But personal plot thickened. Twins questioning identities, early Mia buzzing hair short. Jordan loving dresses. Nathaniel and Alex navigated gentle. Books and talks. Affirming, you're you beautifully. Therapy adapted. Family sessions weaving support. Fall harvest. Center gala raised records. Alex's keynote soaring. From back rows to boardrooms. We rise. Donors teared. Twins performed a skit playing tale retold kid style. Ending in group hug. Winter's hush brought reflection retreat. Cabin in Tahoe. Snow blanketing doubts. Fireplace confessions. Nathaniel's imposter pangs. Alex's quiet ache for bio kids. We chose this. They affirmed. Esmore's melting sweet. Spring's renewal. Twins school pride event. Nathaniel keynoting. Courage starts small like a pin on a bag. Q&A raw. A kid asking. Were you scared? Every day. Still am. But standing scarier alone. Summer circled adventures. Road trip, Route 66. Echoes of wings. Twins wide-eyed at diners. Story swapped Alex's youth escapades. Nathaniel's flight fable. Campfire under canyons. Jordan whispered. I want to fly too. Mia, with you guys. Always. Fall's palette, Luca's promotion. Family dinner toasts. Nathaniel's Doc Emmy again. Speech dedicating. To elders who stood first. Winter wrapped gifts. Anniversary vow renewal. Beach at dawn. Waves witnessing. Rings exchanged anew. Promises polished. Life's tapestry rich in ed twins, tween turmoils. Careers cresting. Love's steady keel. Through gales and calms, they stood. Ensemble unbreakable. Story ever unfolding. Tween tempests brewed as Mia hit 13. Slamming doors over crushes unspoken. Jordan 12, and sketching secret selves in journals locked tight. Nathaniel caught glimpses notes to the girl in math. Confusion creasing brows and sat them down separate. Park benches under oaks. Hearts don't follow rules. He told Jordan. Whoever you love. We're here. Mia's turned tougher. What if they hate me for liking girls? Echoes of his youth. Then they miss out. You shine anyway. Alex balanced with art classes at the center. Teens channeling angst to canvas. Murals evolving Phoenix now with fledglings. One muralist. A trans boy named Kai. Bonded with Jordan over brushes. Art's safe space. Alex said. Nathaniel watched. Pride swelling, their legacy breathing. Docuseries wrapped Season 3. Asian queer narrative samurai lovers in hidden scrolls. Modern Filipina activists. Shoots in Manila humid intense. Nathaniel interviewing under monsoons. Your story inspired mine. A director told him. Jet-lagged home. He crashed into Alex's arms. Worlds bigger than our skies. Falls frenzy. Twin school elections Mia running class prez on inclusive everything. Jordan Art Club Veep. Campaign posters plastered halls. Family rallying with bake sales. Election night. Cheers or tears Mia won. Jordan to high fives all around. Politicians yet. Luca joked at victory ice cream. But under triumphs. Ripples, Alex's firm downsized. Freelance lean. Creative freedom. He spun. But worry lines deepened. Nathaniel pitched joint project graphic novel of their plain saga. Illustrated vivid. Publisher's bit. Deadlines dancing. Winter's white brought holidays hybrid. Twins friends slumbering. Lila toddling gifts. New Year's resolution. Family therapy refresh. Unpacking tween shifts. We're navigating. Counselor noted. Proud. Spring Spark, graphic novel launch. Signings swarmed by fans, kids clutching wings merch. One teen. Your book made me come out. Nathaniel teared. Signing fly high. Summer scorched sets. Nathaniel directing TV pilot. Queer ensemble comedy. Cast chemistry crackled. Javier guesting. Wrap gift, custom plane models. Engraved stand-up. Fall foliage framed center expansion new wing for elder storytelling. Gala star-studded. Twins emceeing awkward charming. Toasts to generations standing. Winter's weave, anniversary ski trip. Twins shredding slopes. Alex and Nathaniel slow dancing cabin side. Still my turbulence tamer. Nathaniel murmured. Life layered, Mia's first girlfriend. Hand-holding at homecoming. Jordan's crush blooming boy next door. Parents' nights. Nathaniel advocating. Our kids thrive scene. Peers nodded. Shifts subtle. Luca's third. Nephew Milo. Baptism blend queer and kin. Full house. Theo laughed. Docuseries greenlit global. Travels beckoning. Alex co-designed tie-in exhibit. Museums queuing. Twins 14th. Surprise Paris. Eiffel echoing vows. Mia, romantic dorks. Jordan, goals. Falls Fire, novel sequel announced. Fan art flooding. Center's Youth Film Fest. Twins judging awards to raw truths. Winter's Warmth, Foster alums reuniting. Stories of flights taken. You started it. They said. Spring's Surge, pilot picked up. Series order. Nathaniel showrunning. Alex consulting visuals. Summer's Symphony, family cruise. Seas calm. Ports pulsing stories Mexico's vibrant prides. Caribbean's hidden histories. Falls Flourish, series premiere party. Ratings soar. Critics, laughs with heart. Stands tall. Winter's Wonder, Twins bat mitzvah bar hybrid. Community woven. Speeches soared. Mia on resilience. Jordan on expression. Anniversary 25. Vow Beach. Now with grandkids echoes. From last to lasting. Alex toasted. Through teen tides. Career crests. They stood beacon family. Love's unyielding lift. High school halls hummed with hormonal hurricanes as Mia navigated sophomore sling's girlfriend drama fizzling to friends. Identity questions sharpening to, I'm a lesbian. Deal. Nathaniel and Alex attended her GSA meeting. Parents panel sharing flight scars. Visibility's vulnerability. He said. Kids leaned in. One asking, how'd you forgive the haters? Didn't always. But standing's for you. Not them. Jordan's arced poetic, coming out by at art showcase. Paintings bold self-portraits in flight. Wings rainbow-streaked. Gallery night. Crowd clapped thunderous. A boy blushing nearby. Alex whispered to Nathaniel. Our little phoenixes. Series production pulsed. Season 2 scripts, sizzling episodes tackling family feuds. First Love's Lost. Nathaniel Helm directs. Javier recurring as sassy uncle. Table reads laughed loud. But off camera. A writer outed unwilling sparked crisis. Nathaniel mediated. Consent in stories too. Resolution, rewrite with input. Trust rebuilt. False Frost, Center's National Conference. Alex keynoting on design as activism. Nathaniel moderated queer media panel. Javier joining. Post-talk. Book signings blended novel vol. 2 launched. Pages turning on Eli's legacy. Winter's whirl. Holidays hyper-twins driving lessons, terrifying. Lila school play. New Year's Eve. Family fireworks. Resolutions whispered. Mia braver dates. Jordan bolder art. Parents deeper listens. Spring shoot. Location scout New Orleans. Jazz-infused episodes. Alex tagged. Sketching beignet. Twins summering their interning at Center Satellite. Real-world prep. Mia declared. Summer simmer. Twins first jobs Mia barista. Jordan camp counselor. Family Valkyrie Smokies. Cabins cozy. Hikes healing old Atlanta ghosts. Nathaniel shared dad stories soft. Twins listening new. False fanfare. Series Emmy nods. Buzz building. Center's Fall Fest. Twins curating film block shorts on identity. Awards heartfelt. Winter's weave. Anniversary Napa. Vineyards vast. Vows vineyard side. Through seasons. We bloom. Life's lattice. Mia's prom queen run. Jordan's mural commission school. Pride wall. Parents chaperoning. Hearts full. Lucas clan grew. Milo toddling. Family reunions rowdy. Docuseries finale aired. Global impact translations sparking dialogues. Fan letters flooded. Your voice gave mine wings. Twins 16th. Licenses earned. Cars cautious. Freedom's flight. Alex quipped. Spring spotlight. Series renewal. Spin-off talks. Nathaniel producing. Alex art directing. Summer surge. Twins road trip. Chaperone Grand Canyon gapes. Vegas glitz skipped for stars. Falls flourish. Mia's college apps. Essays on resilience. Jordan's portfolio. Pieces pulsing passion. Winter's warmth. Holidays hybrid. Grandkids glee. 50th combined Bash Nathaniel and Alex Center. Toast timeless. Anniversary. Paris Redux. Twins now guides. Full circle. Mia said. Through adolescent Arias. Professional peaks. They stood roots deep. Branches wide. Love's eternal updraft. College calls crescendoed as Mia-eyed NYU film. Jordan RISD art. Applications airtight with essays echoing plain parables. Nathaniel proofed Mia's. From back row to blockbuster gratitudes my script. Jordan's portfolio pulse series on queer migrations. Last row motifs recurring. Acceptance letters landed like landings smooth, both in. Scholarships stacked. Series wrapped season 3 triumphant. Finale cliffhanger claps. Wrap party wept laughed. Javier toasting. To families fictive and fierce. Nathaniel's directorial nod. Emmy again. Speech simple. Stand start seated thank you for rising. Falls fanfare. Twins move-in weekends. Dorms dotted parental tears. Lucas 4th. Niece Sophia. Family swelling. Center's expansion east. Alex overseeing builds. Winter's wonder. Holidays have campus visits blended home. New Year's. Twins remote toasting. To wings spread. Spring's send-off. Graduation's gold caps tossed. Hugs hurricane. Mia's valedictorian nod. Stand for stories untold. Jordan's exhibit. Art's applause unspoken. Summer's solitude bittersweet. Empty nest echoed. Nathaniel and Alex nesting a new kitchen renos. Travel dreams. Greece getaway. Islands idyllic. Ruins whispering resilience. Our sequel. Alex said. Aegean blue boundless. Fall's freshman flux. Care packages constant. Calls candid Mia dating NB artist. Jordan crushing on prof. Awkward. Parents parented long distance. Wisdom wired. Series spin-off greenlit. Nathaniel exec. Javier lead. Shoots swift. Story sparkling. Winter's weave. Anniversary aspen. Slopes shared. Vows snow soft. Empty nests. Full hearts. Life's loop. Luca's promotion party. Grandkids galore Lila's ballet. Milo's soccer. Docusseries pivot. Podcast arm. Voices viral. Twins breaks brimmed stories. Mia's short film fest win. Jordan's internship gallery show. Spring surge. Center gala virtual hybrid. Funds flow. Summer's sojourn. Family Alaska cruise. Glacier's grand. Twins home brief and turn tales traded. Fall's flourish. Mia's thesis pitch. Jordan's collab exhibit. Winter's warmth. Holidays hub. Board games battling. Love loud. Anniversary. Tokyo twist. Cherry blossoms confetti. Blossoms late. Brightest. Nathaniel mused. Through launchings. They stood anchors Asia. Love's lighthouse.